and specifically the standard Honda NX500 seat does have these sharp square edge sort of shoulders, and what I have is a couple of guide marks. So what I'm going to do is cut through down to those lines, and then we'll just sand that and shade it. Hey guys, welcome to this episode, and today we're going to talk about, well, something that many people talk about, many people complain about, and that is the seat on the NX500. Now, here's my standard seat, although not so standard, and you have seen in previous episodes I did some modifications where I actually ground a lot of the foam out of this seat here and rounded off the shoulders, which definitely makes an improvement. However, you would have seen in that video that I actually took out too much of the foam out of this seat and ended up being fairly thin. That lowered the seat height down to just over 800, and that meant there was a lot of foam missing out of the seat. What I ended up doing was adding a 20mm piece of foam back underneath the seat foam, between the seat foam and the shell, and increase the padding back into the seat a bit more. So that's where it is right now, and it does help. It's fairly good, and I'd say fairly squishy and comfortable. The width of the seat is fairly wide. It's pretty good, but after a couple of hours I still get a little bit uncomfortable, and you've got to squirm around, stand up and fidget around a little bit and get the circulation going. So the question now is, what else can we do? And this is a Sergeant seat. So custom made in America. They have their proprietary foam. You can see it's much flatter in here. It's scooped out. It's rounded here, and it means that instead of you sitting forward and sliding towards your tank, this now sits you much more level. That's the way it's designed, and you can see there's a pretty big shoulder pronounced in here as well, which raises you up. Now for a passenger, this is quite hollowed out and scooped in here, and that's for your tailbone pressure point. And I am going to cover this one in the full carbon, and I've even had a custom piping ordered for this. Anyway, let's get this on and you'll see what the finished product is like. So the other thing to look at is width. Now the width of this seat, we'll measure that, but I can tell by looking at the foam of the Sergeant seat, which is a foam and cover replacement kit to go on the existing Honda shell, is a bit wider. Now I'm measuring across probably what I would call the widest point here, and we have 330mm or 33 centimetres in width across the widest point of that seat. Now straight away you can see this one is a fair bit wider across here. So I'm going to measure from that shoulder point here to here. So what we have is 390 or 39 centimetres. So that means this seat is 6 centimetres wider, or an extra 3 centimetres, just over an inch in the old language, on each side. And that should spread pressure points when you're sitting down. You can move around a little bit more, squish side to side. No, it's not ideal for any off-road kind of riding, because you want to be able to move backwards and forwards typically on a sort of enduro dirt bike, and this is definitely not that. But once we get this on, we'll try it out for comfort. Okay, I'm now going to add a little bit of contact adhesive onto the bottom of the foam so that the seat pan can just stick to it. It's not gluing it to it for the purpose of keeping it there, it's just really to hold it in place so it doesn't move around at all. Now this cover kit has been sitting outside in the nice hot sun. It's got it soft, a little bit stretchy, and it should mould to shape nice and easy. The Sergeant seat. Now this is a seat I've had previously on a DR650 and I absolutely loved it. A brilliant seat. This was custom ordered from the US, and I ordered it with the silver piping to go with the other silver bits around on the bike. I also ordered it with the full carbon finish because I want to be able to move around a little bit on the seat. I don't want any grippy stuff that resists movement. I then had it custom embroidered with the NX500 logo there. The Sergeant seat, imported from the US, was $710 Australian on my doorstep. I then had the embroidering done. That was a further $60. And then I tried to fit the seat cover myself, however, unsuccessfully. There is a Velcro strip that's meant to come with this seat. It goes in here, and that was meant to come from Sergeant seats, and that was missing, unfortunately. In the end, I took it to a professional upholsterer. Big shout out to KJ's Upholstery in Maryland, and he did a fantastic job. Professional upholsterer, and he put the Velcro strip in, and the end result was absolutely brilliant. It looks factory finish to me. So all up, this seat ended up costing me was $920 Australian. Yes, that's a lot of money. The Sergeant foam that comes on these is beautifully moulded. It's done just right. It's a special kind of foam. It has that tailbone slot cut out in there. There is no pressure point on your tailbone, let me tell you. I rode for about an hour and a half yesterday to try this seat out, and I can tell you, really comfortable. Now, they do say that there is a break-in period on seats, and of course this may well and probably will soften up over time. I have a seat height of 840. Yes, 840 is the seat height now on this bike, and ground clearance under the skid plate blow away is 180. So an 840 seat height, that suits me okay. The bike sags a little bit when you sit on it, and I can comfortably put almost flat-footed but not quite, and that's okay for me. At the moment it is a bit firmer foam, and you know what? I think the firmer foam is actually better. I do find the slight bit of firmness compared to the factory foam, which is really spongy and soft. I find this firmer foam a better ride, or a better thing to sit on. So really happy with that. Now overall the bike is pretty much finished. There's one little thing to go on here, and then we're going to be looking at suspension, and that's coming up soon. Just want to finish off by saying big shout out to mates over in Finland, Patch Bandit, and over in the UK, Mr. Fish. So g'day to Mr. Fish, g'day to Patch Bandit over in Finland, and we're going to be doing some lovely country rides very soon over the next few months, and there'll be some epic trips coming up. I've really got some good stuff planned. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button for me.